Good morning, gang. Happy Saturday and happy New Year's Eve. We made it through 2022, or at least if we can get through the next 18 hours, we will. Who knows what Vladimir Putin's going to do, right? Hey, listen to the media, and we're not going to see the ball drop. We're going to see the bomb drop, right? But New Year's Eve brings up that annual time of year for me where it's time to see if I can pat myself on the back or if I've got egg on my face from my 10 predictions that I made on January 1st. See how good we did. Last year, okay, I wouldn't have got a bowl game. Last year I was 4 right, 3 wrong, and 3 the jury was still out on. So we'll see if I improved at all this year. But just like before, went back, watched the video, took the clips of exactly what I said, and we'll see what's going on. So, without further ado, let's get in to see if I've got a future as Nostradamus or if I'm all wet. Here's number one. All right. Number one, the thing that's on everybody's mind. COVID. COVID will end this year. Yeah, I think it's pretty safe to say I was correct on that. We're not wearing masks. We're not in lockdowns. We're not listening to Dr. Fauci every day whatsoever. So COVID pretty much ended for us. Now, like we talked about the other day, with what's going on in China, who knows if it comes all over again. But as of right now, I'm going to say that one's a win. COVID's over. Okay. 1-0. Hey, what do you know? Good start. Let's look at number two. Number two, cyber terrorism. Okay, this is going to be the year of the hacker. Okay, number two, wrong. Didn't turn out that way. We didn't see any big hacks. We saw some activity. We could talk about shooting up power stations or anything like that, but we didn't see any big computer hacks. In that clip, I had mentioned that I expected to see the banks get hit or the grid get hacked or anything like that. We did not see that. All in all, that's one I'm happy I'm wrong about. But neither here nor there, I'm wrong. So 1-1. Moving on to number three. Number three, my favorite thing to talk about all the time, the economy. All right. And I know last year, but this is what I'm figuring this year. Gold and silver are going to be your best performing asset classes in 2022. Okay. This one I'm going to call a draw. And maybe you want to call me wrong on this one, but I'm going to call it a draw for a reason being. The best performing asset class of 2022 was the CRB Commodities Index, which includes precious metals, but it also includes wheat futures and corn futures and hog bellies and everything like that. Unless you are a futures investor, which I can pretty much say most of us aren't, you couldn't get in that game. The second best performing asset of the year, the dollar index. Well, for those of us in the States, you can't really take your dollars and buy dollars, okay? Those people who were in Europe or Canada or, wherever, exchanging their euros or their Canadian dollars for US dollars, yes, they could have done better, okay? But those of us in the States, we already have dollars, right? So we couldn't really buy them anyway. The next best was Brent crude. And again, unless you're buying oil futures, you're not going to be able to invest in that. The best performing asset that Joe Average, you and me, could have invested in this year was gold and silver. Okay. Didn't matter if you bought treasury bonds, treasury bills, CDs, the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, foreign bonds, corporate bonds, whatever, you underperformed what gold and silver was. So this is where I say it's a tie. It's over everything. It wasn't. The institutions could have got into better things. A very teeny tiny percentage of people may be able to. But for the general public, the best performing asset class was gold. But overall, it was not. So I'm going to call that one a draw. Let's go on to number 4. I expect crime rates to rise in 2022. Yeah, I don't think anybody's going to disagree with me when I say I was right on that one. Across the United States, violent crime in 2022 was up 12%. I don't know, would that have anything to do with our situation on the southern border? Probably some. The hard part to swallow about that one was 2021 was the worst crime year on record, and 2022 was worse for violent crime. What I found interesting when I went to go check this out was some of these cities that showed the biggest increases in crime. Some won't surprise you, but a couple will. And this is in order from where the crime rose the most, okay? Baltimore, number 1, not a big surprise. Detroit was number 2, okay? Not a surprise. Memphis, okay? Memphis is not exactly your safest city, but to have the 3rd largest crime hike in the country, a little surprising. Number 4, Albuquerque, New Mexico. Okay. Number 5 was St. Louis. Just St. Louis, not a big surprise. Okay. Where's number 6? Number 6, Milwaukee. Number 7 was Chicago. Number 8 was New Orleans. Number 9 was Oakland. There's one still missing, don't you hear? Number 10 was Cleveland. Okay. 11 was Houston. 12 was Rochester, New York. 13 was Atlanta. You have to go down to number 14 to get to Philadelphia. We've all seen what's gone on in Philly. If Philadelphia had the 14th largest hike in crime in the country, that'll tell you something, all right? And just to round out the top 15, this one will really stun you. Number 15, Anchorage, Alaska. Yeah, Albuquerque, Anchorage, Rochester. Did you ever expect to hear those on the higher crime rate cities? You did now, because that's what's coming up. Let's move on. 5, everybody's favorite, politics. Okay. First off, yes, the 2022 elections will happen. Okay. The GOP is going to take both houses of Congress. My guess is 53 seats in the Senate and 250 plus in the House. Okay. All right. After all the talk at the beginning of the year and so many people saying the elections won't happen and everything like that, that part I was right on. But I'm still going to consider this one a loss, okay, a wrong. Because I said in there that both houses were going to flip. We only flipped one. Actually, the GOP lost a seat in the Senate. And my guess on where the House would be, it was about 30 off. So we're going to count that one as a loss. But all right, halfway through, and I'm 2-2-1. Again, not getting a college or not getting a head coaching job anywhere. Let's go on to number 6. Number 6, politics 2. You're going to love this one. Joe Biden will step down or be removed. And my guess is it'll be sometime in the early fall, around September, October. Okay. Yeah, no. That one's wrong. Unfortunately, the potato is still sitting in the White House. Oh, no, actually he's not. He's sitting, the world falls apart. He's on vacation again. But maybe that one was more of a pipe dream, but I kind of figured number 6 would play in with number 5, that they were going to blame Biden for getting slaughtered in the 2022 midterms, which didn't happen. So therefore, Biden's still there. So, yep, we're under 500 at this point, 2-3-1. Let's move on. Number 7, population. This is another interesting one. This is worldwide. Migration around the world is going to become a huge problem. All right. Yeah, let's see. 2 million people coming across the southern border into the United States this year. Europe falling apart from all the migration going on there. Europe butting heads with each other, countries there, Italy versus Germany versus France, stuff like that, with the problems of boat people, to use that term. Yeah, migration became a huge problem in 2022. Not looking much better for 2023. We can cross our fingers and hope that Title 42 sticks around, but Title 42's been around all year and we still got 2 million border crossers this year. What happens next? This one, definitely in the win column. Moving on. Expect to see the prices of food skyrocket and your choices to dwindle even more. Yeah. No question. Unlike what the government wants to tell us in regards to food inflation, I think we all know food inflation, true food inflation, is probably somewhere 40-50%. And are our choices starting to dwindle? Yeah. Many of you guys have talked about going to the store, and while there's still food on the shelves, there's plenty of food on the shelves, no question. The prices have gone through the roof, and your choices aren't there anymore. So yeah, that one's going in the win column. So what does that make us? 4, 3, and 1, back above 500. Hey, what do you know? Let's see how we finish with the last couple. Okay. Number 9, real estate. If you're looking to move, do it now. How many times have I brought that one up over the course of this year? Yeah, we saw prices of homes go up 20-some-odd% last year. We saw the peak of the market this year. Prices of homes are coming down. But the fact that mortgage rates went from 30-year mortgage rates, fixed rate, went from 3 point something percent to, at one point we went over 7, but we're still in the mid 6s. Yeah, when interest rates have doubled on mortgages, yeah, if you bought a house in January, probably a lot better than buying one today. So, yeah, 5, 3, and 1. Moving to number 10. Okay. Number 10. This one I'm going to go out on a limb for. Water. Okay. I think water is going to be the buzzword by summer. All right. Like I said, this one's totally a gut feeling. Okay. But we're going to have some sort of water crisis. And I think it's going to be relatively planned. Yeah, 58% of the continental United States is still in a drought. Lake Mead is, at the pace we're going to be empty soon. Crops are poor at best. Okay. Yeah, that was out on a limb. That seemed to be a pretty good call to figure out what happened. That water is going to start being at a premium. So there you go. I'll take that as a good season. I would have made a bowl game, 6, 3, and 1. Though the way college football is for their 40-some-odd bowl games, it's like half the teams get a bowl game. You know, losing records and you still get a bowl game. But I got my 6 wins. So, yes, I'm going to the Pinball Bowl. All right, guys. Tomorrow I will give you 10 predictions for 2023. Who knows what I come up with. But put my feet to the fire. That is from January 1st to December 31st, what I thought was going to happen and what happened. Yeah, some of them were out on a limb. Some of them maybe a little easier to figure out. But the point of it is, if you look ahead and say, this is what I think is going to happen, and let me prepare for it, that's when you can look back and go, glad that's what I thought was going to happen and I prepared for it, which is the whole point of what we do. Happy New Year's Eve. I got one more for you today. We'll see that one around lunch. And other than that, guys, please, please, please Stay safe tonight. If you stay up till the ball drops, please don't drink and drive. Don't want to hear any stories about somebody who's not here tomorrow morning. Happy New Year. Pinball out.